to these two teams in the Los Angeles sports arena. But when it started, there were 25 teams from every section of the nation. Teams like North Carolina and Louisville and Kansas State and Penn and Kentucky and so on down.
Now you can either drop it into him or shoot if Walton falls off you.
And they played on campuses all over the country. In New York, in Williamsburg, Virginia, in Knoxville, Tennessee, in Dayton, Ohio, and Provo, Utah, and many other cities across America.
Give us a break!
There is one thing they all have in common. It is the color and the excitement and the suspense that can only take place at a college basketball game. And it all builds to a fever pitch when the national championship is to be finally decided.
All right! All right! I love it!
It's Thursday evening, and the Eastern and Western Championship is the prize. In the opener, North Carolina, a solid poised team with the best shooting percentage in the nation, will face surprising Florida State. A team that likes to run, and then run some more. The Tar Heels, 25-4 in the regular season, have romped past South Carolina and Penn to get to the Eastern Championship round, while the Seminoles, with a 25-5 record, eliminated Minnesota and then Kentucky. North Carolina jumps to a 4-0 lead on baskets by Robert McAdoo, number 35. And Bobby Jones, number 34, who starts the play with this interception of Reggie Royal's pass. After a number of Tar Heel misses, Jones finds himself with the ball again and puts it in. The Seminoles get on the scoreboard with this 15-foot baseline shot by Ron King, number 33. From this point on, it becomes apparent that Florida State is taking control of the play. The usually cool Tar Heels seem to have lost it and start turning the ball over, and the swift Seminoles take full advantage of the situation. In the first half, North Carolina will give the ball up 14 times. North Carolina coach Dean Smith, sensing the problem, tries to calm his team down.
Now you got all the tightness out of your system. Now we relax and play like we can.
Come on now.
Hold it. We're playing like they want us to play. It might take us 8 passes to 10.
It works. And Carolina, faced by Robert McAdoo's shooting, settles down as both teams begin trading baskets. point comes after a pep talk by Florida State coach Hugh Durham. Durham sends in Otto Petty, number 11. And the smallest player on the court at 5'7" proves a David to the Goliaths of North Carolina, stealing passes, breaking their famed press, and setting up teammates. He even ends up doing a little scoring on his own. With Petty in the lineup, the Seminole Guns begin to find the mark. Aced by the shooting of Ron King, 33. Roland Garrett, number 23. And Reggie Royals, number 25. Florida State pulls to an 11-point lead with just over 4 minutes left in the half. On the sideline, Dean Smith is asking for one thing.
Give you the top of the key. What should you do done? Move it quick to George. We had a layup. You know, when you're getting ready to shoot it there, see what happens. We're running one. Let's go through the offense. We'll get something.
The teams play about even for the rest of the half. And a jubilant Florida State team leaves the court at intermission ahead by 13. In the second half, things get worse for North Carolina. After 6 minutes of play, the Seminoles have stretched their lead to 23 points. The score is reflected in the faces of the North Carolina fans. Then, with a humiliating loss staring them in the face, the Tar Heels start to come back. First relying on McAdoo, who fouls out with a little less than 10 minutes remaining. And then on Dennis Wojcik, number 44, who scores 15 of his 20 points in the second half. As North Carolina draws closer, the overflow crowd grows tense, and a worried Hugh Durham begins to contemplate defeat.
On the initial pass, keep your wide position on the wing. All right, now look. Right there, Reggie. Remember, when Jones gets it from high, move back in there because he's trying to dump at the back. Remember that.
On the hand, I was trying to dribble.
Don't dribble around him.
I was trying to
Well, he can shape up without you dribbling.
Okay.
Just stay there.
Side rebound. I saw you going over there last time. That was good. You had the right idea. You know, the way.
Now watch.
Tar Heels continue their surge, and their fans begin to hope. With 58 seconds left, North Carolina pulls within 7 points, and Dean Smith maps the final strategy.
When he's still dribbling, let's jam in. Get a dribble used to get out on him. That'd be great. Hey, that's great. You're all a little tired. You're going hard now. Every time down the court, let's get a good shot. And that's definitely take a bad shot. Or get fouled. You know, drive into the goal. Billy, you're running too. Bobby, that's great. Billy, way to go. You're going to defense. We're going to do it.
With 5 seconds left, they close the margin to 3, and Smith again talks to his players.
If we can get another field goal, another timeout, we got it. That's what we need every time. Work your tails like you never worked before. Dine in for Bill. Bill, wait till we get the ball, then you go back in. We have 3 timeouts left. Plenty of timeouts. Hey, that's great. We're going to come back. Come on now.
Let's come back.
Tired, George? You keep your man. Double team the inbounds pass on the little guy. On the little guy. Take your rest.
not to be. And the game ends with Florida State winning 79-75. In the midst of all the tumult, it is only fitting that Durham seeks out his little backcourt ace, Otto Petty, and congratulates him for a job well done. The Western Championship game matches the favorite, 7-time champ UCLA against Louisville, which is making its first trip to the NCAA finals since 1959. This game will have special significance as Louisville coach Denny Crum was John Wooden's chief assistant at UCLA the last 3 years and played an important role in each of those championship seasons. In fact, the UCLA team that Louisville will face is one that was largely recruited by Crum. The Bruins draw first blood with Bill Walton, their outstanding sophomore center, scoring on a tip-in. Walton is 6'11", and considered the best big man to come along since Lou Alcindor, who also played at UCLA. Louisville counters by unleashing Jim Price, its All-America guard, and Price goes right to work, scoring 6 of the Cardinals' first 10 points. Walton, however, is overpowering. In the first half of play, he scores 24 of UCLA's 39 points and pulls down 16 of 30 rebounds. Louisville, though shooting poorly and totally out-rebounded, manages to stay reasonably close. The Bruins, perhaps overconfident, are playing sloppy ball, and Wooden lets them know it in no uncertain terms.
Throwing the ball away one time after the other. You get a big lead and you keep gambling with the basketball. Absolute silly passes. If we don't get a break down here, we wait and set up. We don't try to push. And Bill, how many times must I talk to you about throwing that ball down the middle?
I had that one, and they just grabbed my elbow.
All right, if it's something up, they're not calling it, so hang on to it. You can't throw it out safely. Keep the ball. Where's your line? Good shot. That's our whole trouble. You've had undoubtedly twice as many turnovers, and we should be the other way around.
However, the Cardinals, with the help of a strong performance from reserve guard Larry Carter, number 10, refuse to buckle. The half ends with UCLA holding an 8-point lead. Prior to the start of the second half, both coaches talked to their players.
Don't let him upset you from a defensive point of view. They're holding it up. Rice is holding it up. Don't let it upset you. Don't let it bother you. If you're getting help, play your ball.
Look for it. You're in the corner. Larry's in the corner. Look for the open man.
Larry, your timing to get open has been off. Get your timing down so we get the ball to you at the proper time. We've had that time on that.
Henry.
Well, now, battle up. Thanks, guys.
The Bruins pick right up again with Walton dominating the boards and triggering fast breaks. Walton, one of 3 sophomore starters, has led UCLA to an undefeated season in such impressive fashion that many are already calling this team the best of UCLA's many great teams. One of them is Louisville coach Denny Crum. And impressive they are, hitting 62% of their shots in the first 14 minutes of the second half and pulling to a 16-point lead despite Louisville's 55% shooting. During timeout. Crum tries desperately to find a way up.
Now that weak side rebounder, get position over there.
Yeah, turn around with the ball up. Look, turn around and square up.
Now, or you can throw it back out and run the double pick for Price. Throw it back out and run the double screen. That means you got to get open, Larry. We'll run the double pick for the guard cut. All right, let's go.
But the Bruins are just too tough. As they have done all season, they keep getting stronger and stronger as the game goes on. At the final buzzer, the score is 96-77, and the UCLAians and their great coach John Wooden are just one game away from their 6th consecutive NCAA title. The action now shifts to Saturday, where the national championship will be decided. UCLA seeking its 6th straight title, and Florida State, the unlikely challenger, looking for its first. New to this situation, Hugh Durham impatiently shouts instructions as the Seminoles go through their pregame warm-up. While battle-hardened John Wooden sits quietly reading on the sideline, Howard Cosell is on hand and is interviewed by Kurt Gowdy. So are the girls. And the game begins. UCLA scores first on a short jump by Henry Bibby, the only senior of the starting five. Again on this shot by Keith Wilkes, and takes a 4-0 lead. But then Florida State, showing tremendous character, does what no team this season has been able to do against UCLA: take control of the game. The Seminoles hit 7 of their first 10 shots, pull to a 21-14 lead. And prevent Bill Walton from scoring a field goal. However, the sweet smell of success is brief. The Bruins score the next 9 points. Walton ends his drought with a basket to tie the score at 21. Now UCLA starts to take over. Fleet Tommy Curtis, number 22, is sent in and scores. Walton clears the boards as usual, and the Bruins are off and running. Sideline, Florida State coach Hugh Durham fears the worst. So does this Seminole cheerleader. But the players hang tough. Little Otto Petty feeds hot hand Ron King. He scores. And the Seminole cheerleaders cheer. But UCLA is getting a great game from its senior guard, Henry Bibby. Bibby has played on 2 championship teams, and his 16-point first half is helping sew up a third. The half ends with UCLA leading by 11. In the second half, UCLA, led by Walton, starts to pull away. But as soon as this happens, Florida State, with Ron King still hot, inches its way back. With 10:47 left, the score is 67-58, UCLA. During the next several minutes, the tension starts to build on the sideline as the teams trade baskets. With 4 minutes left and UCLA leading 79-72, the Bruins go into their ball control offense. With 1 minute and 53 seconds remaining, they still have the ball, but Ron King ties up Bibby and forces a jump.